I'm Jerry McKee, and welcome to a special prime time. We've got a special guest that we come on here, and I'm glad that you, boom, 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 had to get that in there. And we're doing some tests too, and I said, well, shoot, man, you used to waste some airtime doing tests, and hello, and you just looking at me saying, oh, what's he doing? He's acting crazy again. But we're got Kyle all the way. He looks like he's in Miami, and I think he might be part of Miami Vice there. I think that's what he wants to do. And I'm going to switch him over, let you see him here in just a second. We're going to talk about the KC show and how it's being branded, new KC show, seashell. But we're going to find out some interesting things there, how it's going to be revamped and redone, and just have a good time right here in a moment. So I'm going to switch over here now and let you see Kyle. Hey, Kyle, can you hear me?
Hey, Jerry, can hear you good. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing. How's everything in Miami?
Oh, it's good. It's very hot and humid down here, Jerry. Same as Union some days.
Well, if it's hot and humid, I know you're not going to be. I know you're not in Miami
won't
now.
Be here long. Yeah. I did a U-turn. I stopped long enough to do this, and I'm on the way back. So.
Well, I know how you feel because I went to Myrtle Beach and seen a big sign that said Myrtle Beach left, and I just went on back home.
Yep, there you go. It's gone. Why go? That's right. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. You've been off the air a good long time. I know you come on last week and just starting a new branding of the KC show. And you had a move going on and all kind of things going on. Had to put it on hold. So hopefully you're back into it now. And people don't realize the things that we have to do to put on these shows. We got a lot of research and stuff like that. Of course, I already know you. That makes the league better. But it's always in the technology. Isn't that fun?
Absolutely. It's a lot of equipment, a lot of pre-prep and during prep, and even when you're done post prep. I mean, it never ends. For sure.
Okay, I'm just kind of want to get us kind of split screen here a second, and just to see how that goes there too, and get that over there. And let me switch over here now. We can see both each other. And tell us some of your thoughts on the new KC show, because you brought some up together recently that just kind of bits and pieces there, and we're going to talk about a couple of little things that you're going to do, and one of the things that I like about it is about opening it up to other podcasters to come on there. So tell us a little bit about your thinking about some of the branding.
Well, I tell you, Jerry, it was a tough decision, not just for me, but for people around me to decide to go back into it. And I missed doing it, fought with it a lot on whether or not to continue, because unfortunately, when you're talking about small town politics, you're going to ruffle feathers. You're going to make things come to light that maybe would have been. And so when I decided to do this again, I want to talk. I want to, say what I need to say, but I wanted to hear other people. I am tired of hearing myself talk. We had Greg on the other night. It was a great interview. He gave a lot of information, a lot of useful information, and like you said, I decided to open up the site to other podcasts, and I'm inviting anyone. I don't care what you want to talk about at all. If you want to talk about potholes in Union County, if you want to talk about the Northern Stars, I don't care. We want to open this page to other opinions, other ideas, and other subjects. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully that'll come into something good.
Well, that gives you time for your guests to speak and them talk more about themselves and how they got into certain, whether it be in politics, whether it be positions or music or whatever, how they got into it. It gives them a chance to tell them. And that way it's not just what your opinion and you're doing all the talking, and it helps there. And you're talking about potholes there. I've got to tell you this. Richard Stabern
Sturbin, he, of course, is the Oak Ridge Boys, the big bass that sings the Oom Papa Bow Wow and the bass there. But he told me how they got the name for Elvira. And he said the writer that wrote the song, got the guy's name, that's my part. But anyway, the guy that wrote the song was at a stop sign, and there was this street sign named Elvira. He said, well, let me write this down. He wrote it down, and that's what most writers do. The inspiration comes from anything. But he went down the road and had all these potholes. And that's where the Bapa Mau Mau come from. It's from the potholes of the road.
Yep.
And then he went home and wrote the rest of the song. But I thought that was pretty neat how when you saw about potholes and trigger stuff.
Yep.
But
well, you know, the Bee Gees, the song "Jive Talking" at the beginning of it, it's got that little beat,
right?
And they actually got that beat from these little. You know how they got lines in the road like Thompson Boulevard. It almost sounds like you're riding a horse. You know, it's got that beat to it. That's how they come up with the start of that song, was from just hearing the noise going down the road. So.
You know what's going to happen now? Someone's going to write a song about that when you run off the road.
It's more like boom in Union County, I guess.
Yeah, they got them in the center and on the sides there. You know, and myself, I drive very carefully on them ruts. It's going to like that. So I'm waiting for the next song to come out without that one.
But I tell you what, though, I think those were a good idea. Whoever came up with that was a good idea.
Oh, I think it was. I think it because it's kind of woke me up a little bit. Not that I fell asleep, but just kind of glanced up or something.
Yeah.
But it's in music. My son Brian, he's the guru expert on it. And you know, Wings down there every Monday has a music bingo, and they give away some nice prizes and cash prizes.
How does that work? Like with the music bingo, like?
Well, they'll. My understanding is that they play a song, and the bingo cards has got the songs on it.
Oh, okay.
And you put the chip on the song, and if you get it, you know, whether it be a cross, or whatever they put it right then they and if you win, and there's some winning cash prizes, and it's on Monday nights.
Oh yeah, that's a twist. That's pretty cool. I like that idea.
And then I think it's the third Thursday, second or third Thursday. Mr. Steve Holt will be there. He's a ventriloquist and magician, and he does a lot of fancy magician stuff. And ventriloquist, you can't see his mouth move. And when I start talking to the dummy, not him, but the actual dummy is. I caught myself doing it. The dummy's name Pop, and he was 9 years old. He got 100 chickens. And why do I remember this?
Right. I hope not to stand too next to him too close, because the dummy, I have many different, values to that word if I stand next to him.
Oh, well, as long as you don't put your hand where he puts the dummies.
I think I'd have to go home after that, Jerry. That's time to go home.
Time to go home. But now there was one thing I'm interested in when you're talking about the KC show. That's something you want to do, and I thought that'd be a good thing if you want to announce it now about as far as the restaurants go.
Yeah.
It's almost like a game show type deal. Talk a little bit about that.
So I come up with this idea. Me and Patty kind of went back and forth a little bit about it, about what we wanted to do. I want to do some blind taste tests of different things. Like we have a lot of restaurants that serve iced tea. We got a lot of restaurants that serve hot dogs, hamburgers. And what I want them to do is either it can be me or Patty, whoever's tasting. They can't see it. And go through and rate each one. Just have it all the way across the table, and at the end, see who the winner is or the best. I just fun little ideas like that, but also that's advertisement for the business. So, that's something I want to do. That's coming up. Not sure exactly when that'll come up, but we're going to be doing it soon. I'm looking forward to it because I get to eat and I get to drink, so that's going to be good.
Well, the good for that. I want to see, like if you go to 3 restaurants, you want to eat 3 meals.
I'll just have
So,
to sample,
what-
Barry. I'll let Patty finish it off.
And what we're going to do, we're going to weigh you and Patty when you start this.
Yep.
And then at the end of the year or in 3 months, we're going to weigh you again. Now, I know Patty's only going to weigh 90.
Right, yeah, she'll go from 90 to 92.
That's it.
Yeah, it makes
But
me
that would be pretty neat. That and if you do numbers, 1 to 5, you're not really trying to put down any restaurant like that. Just some food is better than others, and some's still good, but some's got that little edge on it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I've also thought about is not even announcing who the other ones are. Just because again, we're not trying to make it into a bad, of the other restaurants. We're just probably going to announce who the winner is. And that way, your restaurant could have been number 2, could have been number 3, you don't know, but I think we're probably going to stick to whoever the winner is and just leave it at that. That way, we're going to also announce all the restaurants that we went to, and everybody gets a little advertising and hopefully some business from it.
Well, you know yourself that I might go to one restaurant and eat, for instance, a hamburger steak. It might be good, but I might go to another one. Well, their hamburger steak was excellent.
Yeah.
Not saying that the other one was bad,
Yeah.
but the other one might have a fish plate is excellent where the other one didn't. So really, we're just kind of picking one food group there to kind of target.
Oh yeah, that's like Union County has some good food, and I'll give 2 examples. One, Prime Buffet. On the weekends, they have ribs on their buffet, and I'm not kidding. That is probably some of the best ribs that I've ever had, and I love ribs. I've had them everywhere. They are some of the best ribs. They're tender. They taste great. And then Stanley Clowney right up here on number 9 Holly Grill. Patty got some fried shrimp, I believe is what she got from him that day. It's been about 2 months ago, but I remember eating a whole lot of, it was just some of the best shrimp I ever had. So you've got a lot of good food here in town. We ain't got to go out of town to always eat. So make sure, we're supporting them.
Right. It's like any business in town that we need to support. Sometimes we can't because of different reasons.
Yeah.
And we could be already out in another town or something like that. And that might be an opportunity to pick up something there. Now, and if you need any help when you go into compare donuts, let me know.
Yeah, call me. Just give me a call. I'll be there. I'll be there for you. That's for sure. I love food, and and people put a lot of work and time. It's one of the hardest businesses probably on the planet to really make money from. So definitely support them. You got Phil's right up the road with some great steaks. So it's right here. We don't have to break further than the Packlet line to get some great food.
Yeah, we got great Mexican food around here. We got some Chinese. We got Larudo's over there. That's we got some good Japanese food there. La Pagada and El Poblano. El Poblano actually
is always packed.
Yeah, they actually opened a new another restaurant in Clinton.
Yeah, I've seen that. It looks nice too.
It is real nice. We went and ate there the other night. A bunch of us did. We happened to be in Clinton, and about 12 of us went over there and ate. And it's real nice. The food's excellent, just like it is here in Union.
Yeah, it looks good. But it looks like a really nice looking restaurant.
Yeah,
it's really pretty.
Well, Pat's used to be in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And before they closed up some of their stores, so and their stores, was nice. And
well, I tell you, they broke my heart when they closed down O'Charlie's. I really was very depressed. And once a weekend, I was at O'Charlie's. Now it's just
now you just wander around the streets.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm sorry about the darkness. I will get some light improvement here. That's the reason why I do my show from 7 to 8. because by the time I'm ending, the the little extra light that I'm getting is going away. So sorry.
Well, you're in a little building don't have windows anyway, so you.
Yeah, just one little window in my little bitty room.
People think it says, "Who's this guy here?" You know how they shade somebody out. Who's he talking about?
Jerry, when people hear the word studio, they think you've got like News Channel 7 studio. They don't realize it's just a little room. You got wires everywhere, and it's just a room with a bunch of junk.
But see, you got a nice little studio there where I have to take mine down. My wife makes me take mine down. After the show, I got to take it down. She did let me leave it up this time because I was going to do a couple of things before then when I had the Thursday with Richard Run. That will air September the 2nd, Labor Day. But she said, "Oh yeah, because okay, you don't have to put all this back up. Okay, we'll wait till Monday's over. Then after Monday's over."
That is a lucky part, and like this little side screen here, it shows exactly a little bit. You got the green screen behind me. It's just a wall right here. I mean, there's nothing spectacular going on at all. It's just you just put it together and you build on top of it. And that's like when I'm talking about people who's wanting to do a podcast, you don't have to do what me and you are doing. If somebody wants to do it from their phone, sitting in their kitchen, sitting in their bedroom, whatever they want to do, and start out that way, that is okay. That is absolutely fine. Especially from the younger generation, I would love to hear that from them. So hopefully we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to start your own podcast because it's out there.
Yes. Especially in a small town.
To me, I'm one of those that got to have this gadget and that gadget, and you're the same way because we see gadgets. You would think that Santa Claus was coming when the microstore was coming to Charlotte.
Yes, and when you get this stuff, and here's a tip to anybody who's looking to do this in the future. Just because something costs today, like I got a camera that's sitting right in front of me right now. When I bought it about 5 years ago, I think that camera costs about $6.99. Now you could probably get this thing for $99. So tech moves.
Changes.
It moves, and when I tell you it depreciates. So whatever you get, make sure it's future proof. Because otherwise, you're going to be buying.
Well, if you're going to really serious about it, you really need to get good equipment. Because if you don't, it's going to fail you. And you got to take care of it. I've got, and yourself, both of us, we got thousands of dollars in this stuff here. And, and the bad thing about it is that we're not getting for sponsorships or anything like that to pay for it. That's me and you. We're paying for that.
Yeah. No, not at all. And there is good price equipment like this soundboard I got. It cost me about $200 about 3 or 4 years ago. I think the price of it's gone up a little bit, but I mean, you can have good equipment. You don't have to have grand equipment to really get going. Just a little camera. This camera I'm using over here. I think it cost me, I got that for Patty for Christmas. I think it was like $4.99 back then, so you can really get started with some good quality stuff and just let yourself grow and your equipment will grow with you.
That's right. And Kyle just give you a little hint on how you can get your equipment and your wife won't be mad at you. You buy it for her for Christmas and then take it back.
Yeah. There you go. Yes,
that's my wife's camera I got for her, and now I've used it.
She hasn't used it, so I was like, so I will. So I bought myself a gift. So it's and it's actually got a better picture as I'm looking at this camera over here. That's really what I think is less quality. Actually, this side camera, it's got a better picture than that one does. So it looks like I'm gonna be doing some switching out here soon. So.
Yeah, and the good thing about your equipment is that you've got to learn about your equipment. I've learned so much in the past month, and it never stops learning because you're doing different things. You've got to learn the microphones exactly.
This right here, if you can master this, you'll be fine.
Yes. Yes. And if you get a camera, be sure you go through it real good, because sometimes with the lighting, like sometimes I go out on my porch out there and do a live stream, and I have to change the resolutions because of the sun going down or coming up or going around and stuff like that. I've got to change it to balance out. So make sure you know your camera, your shutter speed, your iris, all this right here. That way you can make the adjustment if you need to ahead of time. And
don't have overhead light. Make sure you got a front facing light. Otherwise you get this right here.
yeah, I can see.
I'm a light back man. You know?
Yeah, if you walk in where Kyle's doing this at now, you'll see one of those round lights with the swinging back and forth, you know, like you got him under a street light on the corner. Yeah, there he is in the dark too, you know. But that's just some of the hints there. And one thing about it, you can always call or contact me and Kyle, and we always we'll tell you, because we've done it. We've lost sound, we've lost tech, we've lost service. And if you're live streaming, make sure you do have a good internet connection.
Yeah.
And if not, then you won't have to worry about that part of it. Just, you know, you record it.
Yeah.
And
say, you know, simply, if you want getting started, your cell phone is good. You can buy an adapter, probably, I think it's like $30, and buy you a cheap, about $10 lapel microphone, and just put it right here on your shirt. It'll plug right into your phone, and you got good quality audio then. So, you know, there's many ways to start out. Simple, but getting good quality.
Yes. And they've got the Mevo cameras packages, about like $1,000, and they sit permanently. They kind of, you know, you're not going to sit there and do like some of the big, huge professional cameras like that, but for what you're doing, it'll work perfect too.
And, you know, and kind of staying on this, you know, subject about this is that, you know, a lot of people are afraid to go live. They don't mind recording themselves and uploading it. You know, they don't mind that, like TikTok, you know, these videos that you see on TikTok, I'm 99% positive to you that it takes them about 100 times to get it right before they upload it. I promise you, they're not doing the very first one and shooting it out. I guarantee you. And so that was something else that we're also offering with the KC show. If you want to pre-record it, send it to me. I upload it and make it go live. We can do that. Because there's just some people who have a little bit of phobia when you're live. You know, matter of fact, I'm in college right now. One of the classes I'm in is public speaking. And let me tell you, these people are terrified to talk. I mean, like, they are terrified to even answer a question in class. So, you know, that phobia, it's real. I mean, it's real. So
Well,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, even some of your professionals out here that you hear them give a speech, or you hear them do this right here, when they get in front of the camera, it's a totally different ballgame, isn't it? And I never could really quite understand that, because, you know, it's just a camera, there's no one in front of you. Versus they can give a speech in front of people, but something by the camera intimidates them.
Yeah, well, too, and a lot of those are used to a teleprompter telling them what to say. So when you're going live and you're having to stay on your toes, your wits about you, you know, when a situation arises, and having a good memory too, you know, because as I was doing, you know, the interviews with Greg, you know, I mean, when he brought up the PMP, you know, lawsuit and all that, you know, it clicked that's the very first topic other than tax increase. That was the very first topic that I ever went truly live and talked about was a lawsuit. So, you know, it's full circle. It's almost 4 or 5 years now. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, well, and, you know, you and I have been doing this a long time here, and sometimes I'll put myself a little note down, but your subject, you got to know your subject for one thing. You can't just get on there happily, think you're going to get by with it in 1 second or two, or just going to do this or that, especially if you're interviewing somebody. And we interview a lot of people. As a matter of fact, I'm on my second season. This is the 23rd episode in the second season, and we're talking about 80 people that I've interviewed. And I have to go read about them. And maybe time I don't have notes because I know enough about them because I read more about them.
Yeah.
And So, it works out good, but that's just some tips that you can do if you're interviewing someone in a podcast, to make sure that you know your subject.
Control your interviews. And when I say that, not the people, but make sure that it doesn't fall flat, because the people that's coming in, they don't really know how to handle interviews. They don't. This is not what they do for the most part, I'm sure. So you've got to make sure you're the one that's keeping the flow going. So if you do it, make sure that you're ready, have plenty of questions ready, and keep it interesting, keep it fast. Try not to hover on the same topic too long. I'm a victim of that, and I've been doing this for 3-4 years now. I'm still a victim of it. I do it all the time. It's easy to do, but talk about a subject and move on to the next.
Right, and those rabbit trails will kill you too. Well, talk about the interviews, and people get stuck on different things. When I was talking with Jack Roper, I was talking to him. I said, "Well, I guess that you can get you used to it so much now that you can just get it the first try." He said, "Oh no, this is not first try, Jack."
Yeah, Jack's a professional. He's been doing it a long time.
39 years. Yes.
Wish him the best on his endeavors with his partial retirement. He's earned it every bit. I do miss him doing weather though. He was always fun to watch when I was a kid. So, but that. Everything moves on, I guess.
Right, and I asked him a question about that. So when you're doing weather, I remember you telling one time or another when you was talking about snow and it didn't snow, how kids would throw rocks and things at you.
Yeah, because you got to remember back then, people posted on Facebook all the time, had to sit and you get up. It's so weird. When you got to go to school in the morning, you don't want to get up. But if you have the inkling that it could be snowing, you got up at almost 5 o'clock in the morning when you normally wouldn't get up till about 6:30 to watch the news to see if school's been called off for you. So you could pop up for that, but you can't pop up to go to school. So yeah, nothing's changed.
No, we still building little snowmen. See, I always like building snowmen or snow dogs and stuff like that. But it seems like mine always fell over.
Mine melted as it's being built.
Well, you put Patty in the middle of it and cut around it.
Nobody will notice.
Poor Patty, we pick on her all the time.
All the time. But she enjoys it.
Now, in building new branding of this, and when people come to you and want to, see, we started myself. Of course, my work things. To start adding it to the KC show and on that channel, and which has a lot of viewers, and
God bless him. Thank you.
Yeah, and you have to when you send that to you, you have to be kind of discreet about you looking at this, what their podcast is, because you just don't want anyone to throw something on there, they got on the phone and just happily done it. You want it professional.
Right. For anybody who wants to do it, you may not be able to have professional graphic stuff or anything, like I say, I think total in my setup right here, I've got, when I bought it, total subtracting the laptop's just a laptop that I'm using. I've got about maybe $500 total in all this, and that's everything from A to Z. That part is not a concern to me. Like you just said, the part that I'm concerned with is making sure that if you go live and you talk and you're putting yourself out there, make sure that you're giving facts, as much truthful facts as you can. Don't make things out of clear blue. It's easy to do, and be careful who you use your information from. Make sure you try to do as much research as you can, although sometimes that's easier said than done. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
and like I said, it ain't got to be politics. It can be anything that you want to talk about.
Right, and make it where it's going to be something's not going to get you dinged from Facebook too by using
Can't copyright.
copyrighted stuff. You don't make sure you don't use colorful
Shut you
language.
down the first 30 seconds. If you got copyrighted music playing, they're going to shut you right down. So it won't last long.
That's why I use cover. I use cover music. Like sometimes they ding me on that.
Yeah, they do. Yep, they do. Yes, sir. Because that, one thing that Greg, we were talking about intro music for him. We both thought about, hold on, I'm coming. I'm like, a cover, but I was even scared to play it because even the cover song, because like you say, they'll ding you right off, and so you gotta be careful.
So far on my cover, I haven't got just like my intro here. I was talking that goes past, and that's Radar Loved also. But it's a cover version of it, and they let it go. But one thing they didn't let go, and I had to write to them and tell them, okay, I'm pretty sure that the university have license for this music, and that's the Platos music, where they're coming in. And I've got from them, and I didn't get anything from YouTube, but from Facebook, saying, oh, we muted this is copyrighted right here. And I had to send them, okay, this is not, I'm sure they got the license for it because they played this. And I think about a month later, they sent me the thing back, okay, yeah, they're clear.
Right, yeah. Yeah, usually for the most part, if you're not playing the entire song, if you dispute to them, usually they'll just let it go. They don't care. Usually, but not always. So.
But you can buy license. It's very expensive. And it all depends on the music itself. You might buy the license for that music thinking, well, you get it every time for every music, and you don't.
Yeah.
And if you say, well, go through YouTube, I get through them, well, YouTube's got their own license.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anywhere with that.
Yep.
So we've tried it, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Because we do get dinged, and
It makes live broadcasting hard too. Like when you go on site and there may be somebody down from you, or the restaurant's playing music over, and you gotta hope that you can drown it out to where you're gonna get dinged. So that's something a lot of people don't think about either. It's always something.
And see, I've had to turn down some things where I had a lady going to pay me to come out and live stream their event. And said, we got a DJ. I says, I said, well, is he going to be out where I'm live event? She said, yes. I says, I want to save you some money. I said, we won't be within probably 15 minutes of it, and they'll shut it down.
Yeah.
I said, all that copyright music. She said, really? I said, yeah. So if you're listening out there and you want someone to live stream your event, and you got a DJ, not a band, band's cool, that ain't gonna bother anything. But if you got canned music, copyrighted music, and you hire someone to do something live, you're gonna waste your money.
Yep.
Now, if they making a video of it and just giving you a personal video of it, and you're not putting it on social media, you're okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
You'll be fine. But it's just used to. They would love you to play their music online. They are playing in the radio stations. They beg DJs to play their music.
Yeah.
Different world now. They get paid.
Yeah. It used to be to where, somebody would replicate a song, they seen it as a compliment. Now they sue you. Go to court.
That's it.
And that "Happy Birthday" is a copyrighted song.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, who is going to object to that? But they do.
Yeah. It's unreal. It's unreal. People, it's a greedy world we're in now.
Yeah.
Everybody's all about that dollar.
Yeah. Now, Kyle sings "Happy Birthday" to you like that. They're going to shut you down, not because it's copyright.
They'll pay me to stop. See, I got the loop on them.
Oh, they pay you to stop.
Oh yeah, big time money.
That's what I told. I think I told my grandson that. I said, you know what? I can make some good money being a musician. He said, really? I said, yeah. I said, I go out here. We went to Nashville. Had all those musicians down through there that sing and get money, stuff like that. I said, I'm gonna stand right here in the most popular restaurant and sing as loud as I could. Pop, you can't sing it good. I said, I know. They're gonna pay me to move on.
That's it.
I'm going to the next restaurant down the road.
That's right. Oh,
We had a good time up there, but it was crowded. It was crowded. The streets were just so packed. Just like on a Wednesday, and you was kind of like bumper to bumper, elbow to elbow, and you see some interesting sights
oh,
there.
hmm Yeah. A lot of things are moving there.
So, Kyle, on your on the KC show, what days have you picked is going to be kind of consistent, or
It's going to be Wednesdays at 7. You know, the day, of course, I pick is the day that I actually have class on, but so far it hasn't interrupted anything yet. Probably as I get deeper into the rest of the year and get closer to exams, I may have to skip that Wednesday for when I take my exams. And but you know, that's for the most part, it's going to be Wednesdays at 7. And I don't think I see me moving it. I hope I don't. I like to stay consistent. People want consistency. Remember that as well. People just want consistency.
Well,
you know, because a lot of people like just listening in the background.
well, you know, Kyle, you can always pre-record.
Yeah.
Do you want a show in off time, and that's what I'm having to do on a couple,
Yeah.
and that way it's still consistent.
And you can put some bells and whistles on pre-recorded. That is my favorite thing to do. But a lot of people love to be live. They like live. So.
Well, it is. That way they can call in live, or they can comment live and just express whatever, you know. 'Cause I know sometimes I'll throw comments in there just for fun,
Yeah.
make you laugh or something like that, and or get you off track.
It happened.
Exactly. But that's the fun part about it, and to have fun in a podcast. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about it is when me and Chad started this off, we were just going to talk about nonsense. Really, we were going to talk about sports, games, silly stuff. You know, women stuff. I mean, just stuff, just crazy nonsense. And, you know, it kind of turned into this. And I always said, I love the fact of what we were able to do and what we were doing with the KC show. But I tell you what, I would have loved to have went that route too, to just have fun, have people come on, talk, have a good time.
Yeah, well, it was really funny. I mean, 'cause I was on several times too. Not funny, but we just had fun doing this, and it was something there that we got some tip about. I think it was about Mike.
Oh God, they get people to.
Yeah, that he did or something like that, and we just I forgot what it was now, but it was so funny that we just kept cracking on it.
Yes, he tickles me, and you know that I had a good time, and you know, maybe hopefully get back to that, because that's more what we're headed toward. And I'll speak on this just for a minute, if that's okay.
Sure,
You
go ahead.
know, you know what the KC show turned into back then, and what we had to do. There was a lot of stuff that was going on that needed to be talked about, and it wasn't something that we just woke up in the morning wanting to talk about. It was things that just had to be. And that was one of the biggest things. It was a lot of stress, a lot of, because you do affect people when you're talking, even if you're telling the truth. And that's all I always say. I always have to offer. It's just the truth. You affect people, and you just, I guess at this point, it's like I want to talk to people and interview them, but I want other people to talk about the stuff. From here on out, I don't want to be this opinionated, banging on the desk like I was before, you know, back then. And what I'm going to try to be now is just two different worlds. And I'll say it here live on your show, Jerry, is that it was never an intention to make people not want to be a part of the show, or not like the show, or not like me, because of the things that we had to talk about. And, you know, unfortunately it comes with the territory. But I will say here now, I am sorry to anyone, whoever, found anything that we had to talk about that was uncomfortable, but it was never untrue. I'm sorry about that. It's just, and I, I had a guy, like, I'll tell you this. I was at the grocery store yesterday or the day before, and I could see this guy. We were kind of just kept bumping into each other through the whole entire grocery store, and we were getting toward the frozen section. And we were on the bread aisle right next to the frozen section. He just kind of looked at me, like, and I was bending over getting some Pepsis for Patty, and he was like, "Where I know you from?" I get that all the time. Where I know you from, and I just I kind of always do this. I kind of laugh. I'm like, well, I don't even want to say KC show because, I don't know. They love me. They hate me. They're anywhere in between, but most of the time, I mean, people who hate me, they know who I am immediately. So as soon as I tell him, he's like, "Oh yeah, man, I love your show and I appreciate everything you do." And I said, "Well, no, I appreciate you, and he said, "Yeah, no, I like you, it's tough and it's right, but I'm like, I shouldn't have to have that emotional feeling of, do I want to let them know? Do I not want to let them know?" But we're hoping to put a new spin on the show to try to bury that type of stuff, talk about the good, discuss the bad, instead of being so opinionated. We'll give the information, leave the opinions to myself, because that was my faults of how I did some things, being a little too opinionated. Slow it down a little bit, just give the information, let people do it for themselves. Just like with Greg, there was information that we wanted to share, but I instead of doing that, I said, go do it for yourself, go check it out, this is how you do it, and that's it. So that way people can draw their own conclusions, and hopefully we can all just kind of come together and
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of stress off of you for one thing. 'Cause you had before you back, closed the KC show down just for a little while. You had your businesses that you was leaving that, selling it, getting out of that business, and which was a stressful business in itself. And then moving, and your dad passed away, and I mean you had all these things here, and plus all these people coming at you from one side or to another, and I can see that it's like you said, I don't do this no more. But you come back and rebrand it in a different way. I think it's going to be more positive and more play, and you'll get back yourself. Like I said, having some fun people on there that laugh and find these things here, and who knows what you'll have as a guest that will bring you good information.
Yeah, and touching on that a little bit, a lot of people, and this is nobody's fault but my own. A lot of that anger you've seen on the show wasn't necessarily about what it was I was talking about. Was I mad about it? Yes, I was, but they don't understand what I had in the back of my head. Even during a broadcast, if I was interviewing somebody very important, Frank Hart, the sheriff, whoever it was, even during the debates when me and you had, I'm still sitting there and I'm thinking about the business, and I am thinking about my dad, and a lot of people don't know, but I had my mom had ended up getting cancer not too long after my dad died. Then my uncle who got it. I mean, right after I lost my aunt, right after my dad died, like literally a month after my dad died, my aunt passed away. Then my uncle got cancer. Mama got cancer. So I think I was taking that stress out on areas and people. I will even say people, maybe on some occasions that I probably shouldn't. And I regret it, and I'm sorry. Now, is there situations that happen that I'm not sorry for? Of course, but I hope that people, if it was warranted, I'm sorry. If it wasn't warranted, I hope you forgive me. And I do want to say that I'm sorry, and we are going to move in a more positive direction and try to rebrand this the way it was supposed to be from the start and have a good time and just looking forward to it.
Well, you brought that debate that we did down at the Elks Lodge. And actually, that was a very, very well done
Because of
debate.
Because of you, man. I couldn't have did it without you. There was no way.
We had all the candidates up there. They didn't bash one another. They come up and give their views on different things. And we had two moderators there to ask the questions and things. We didn't even bother asking them. We just run the equipment and stuff. And it was, to me, it was one of the greater debates I would see, probably even on the state level. Because it gave them opportunity and they were heard and the place was crowded.
Yes, it was, and a lot of good come from that, Jerry. A lot of good come from that. You know, we got viewership, which one more time we reiterate, we don't make a dime doing any of this. Never have, and probably never will. Never made a dime. We just did it out of the joy of doing it, and a lot of people think that you're doing this because you're seeking the limelight. You want to be the center of attention. You know, I promise that's not it. Because if it was, I would have probably chose myself as being one of those moderators of the debate. Didn't want that. Didn't want nothing to do with it. And out of all those questions that they asked, there was only one of those questions that I wanted asked. And I think we had probably like 20, maybe even 30 questions.
Oh, yes.
And only one of those I wanted to answer to, you know, just one. The rest of them was everybody else.
Right. And that's what we, in fact, that's what you went on there to ask people to give me some questions you want me to ask these candidates.
Yes.
And we didn't get up there in front and say, well, okay, we're going to do this right. No, we let the candidates, we let the moderators do it. We let you know who the moderator was. The moderator didn't even have the questions until we gave them to them that night.
Yeah.
They didn't know the questions, so no one could come up to them and say, hey, what's the question you're going to ask? They didn't know.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. I tell you, Dean did a great job.
Scarlett.
He did a great job. And her name,
Scarlett.
Scarlett.
Yes.
I knew it started with an S. I'm so sorry if you're watching. I could see her face, but her name just shot up right out of my head. They did great. I would love to do it again. I don't know if we have a race that is that's coming up that's kind of got the attention the way the sheriff's one did. You know, the sheriff is always super popular.
Right. I don't think we really got too much coming up that's against it here or there.
Yeah, the city and I think a few people on the council.
Right.
You know, but you know, if they want to do a virtual debate, you know, we could set it up like this, you know, to where people can ask them questions and they got one platform where they can do it and whatever we can do to help. And you know, I never get involved in that and when I say involved, like I always make sure it's a third party because we want to make sure that everybody knows it's 100% fair.
Right.
Well,
it's like interviews that I've done on some of the politicians, whether it be Democrat, whether it be Republican. I give them equal time if they want to come on. Matter of fact, I had Melody Lawson on here. I've got Miss Kitchen coming on towards the end of September.
Sweet.
So it's equal time. Yeah. And it's not to be favored this one or that right there. One candidate says, I'd like to get on your show. Okay. Another candidate says, me too. Well, okay. You can. And if you both want to come on at the same time, I got the cameras to do it. So we can do it.
I mean, and there's no reason you can't. There's no reason you can't. We gotta take that nastiness out of, you know, Greg talked about that incident that happened when he won that night. I mean, there's no room for that. Yeah. There's none. You're the cream of the crop. And you're being elected by people, so you can't you know behave that way. Of course.
Right, and because you got to show you're a professional, and that's when I look at into a candidate. I never vote straight ticket or anything. I usually kind of want to, because there might be someone on the other side that I like their views and their ways. It's really in line with what I'm looking at, and that's what I look at. I don't want to, and especially if I'm on a podcast, I'm giving everyone equal time that they want on there.
Yeah, that's the way to be. That's the way to be. And good luck to all the candidates. Like I say, you know, I one thing that I kind of opinionate myself on a little bit is that when somebody's been in office for a really, really, really long time, you know, maybe it's time we get some fresh eyes. We got to keep up with the times, you know. But if they win, that's what the people chose. I'm not going to argue it. That will never happen. If that's what people chose, hey, glad you got reseated. Now let's get to rocking and let's start working back for the town, the city, you know. But it is a good thing to sometimes change those seats just for fresh ideas, not necessarily for anybody other person. Like Greg, great guy. If he ran again and won this time around in about 4 years, I'm going to be having it there in the back of my mind. Okay, if you win this time, great. But after this time, you know, maybe we need to start looking for some fresh eyes, you know. So even people I really enjoy.
Oh yeah, and you got to look at that. And sometimes, hopefully, some of the younger folks will just show the example that they want to run in the position to learn a little bit more about the county council, or learn a bit more. And to me, if the person's running for one of those seats or anything, I look at how many times have they been to, I know I stream the county council live, how many times they've been there for the meeting.
Yeah.
And because that to me means a lot, because if they're interested enough in this meeting each month for several months, then they know what's going on.
Right.
A little bit anyway.
And they know what to expect. So you know, it's nothing worse than winning, and then after you win, you're like, oh man, now what do I do? you know, you don't want that feeling. So make sure you're prepared.
You know, we're talking about the young folks and older folks, and people get amazed here. I'm almost 70 years old and know all this technology. And it's kind of funny, today I went to a place to look for an Ethernet cable, and there's a young girl there. I said, you got any Ethernet cable? She just kind of gave me a look, like a deer in the headlight.
Yep.
I said, well, you know on your phone. I said, whoop, no, you don't know. You know, when you pick the phone up, say hello. And she said, no. I said, do you have a computer at home? She says, yeah, I got a laptop. I says, well, when you open up and you're connected, she says, yeah. I open up, I'm just there. I says, you know your router? I got that look again.
Yep.
I said, it was where it plugs in the bag. And she just gave me a look. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to go find it. And I'll come get you, and I'll show it to you. I found it. I found it. Come here.
Walmart has that problem. You know, when they have people back there in electronics, I think sometimes they got to just, they're having somebody there. Maybe they're filling in.
Yes.
And them poor people, they don't know. And I'm sure they get it a lot. And I hate it for them. But.
Yeah, well, there was one little guy that was back there today. Actually, I went back there and I said, "Hey, look what did it right here." I know what's that? We know where I got it. You know, said,
there you go.
Yeah, that guy. Nice. He knows where he's at.
Ain't that nice? You just got somebody like that. You don't get that often. So.
But I thought it was funny because she didn't know what an Ethernet cable was. Yep. And if anybody out there wants to know what an Ethernet cable, if you ever seen a phone line that you used to plug the phone in years ago, it's a little bit bigger than that.
Just a little bit bigger. Yep. And now they got 1,000 different versions. Cat 5, Cat 5e, Cat 5 6e, 6, 7, and now I mean it's
and people don't realize it makes a difference. Now I can use as far as Ethernet, as far as on a Cat 5 or Cat 6 on my electronics here, on my Ethernet, stuff like that. But on some printers, a Cat 6 won't work. I went to a place with a customer that their IT said, "Oh, and IT should know this, that this wasn't working." And I said, "Okay," I come look at it, and I said, So I plugged my Cat 5 in perfectly.
Yep.
He plugged his 6, dead. I said, that's what you gotta do, get your cat, because some things are not compatible, so you really can watch out and say, oh, cat 6, cat 7, oh, it's the best kind, I'm gonna get that because it'll run faster. Not necessarily will it.
But yeah, it changes all the time, so it's going to be hard for people to keep up with unless they're interested in that type of stuff. So
that's it. Well, Kyle, we're getting down to the last 5 minutes here, and you got
Anything you want to say to everyone about the program here to
yeah,
last 5
you
minutes?
know, I appreciate the support that we got coming back. A lot of people, we have a lot of support. You know, unfortunately, you know, you hear the bad over the good. We get so much good, but it's the silent majority, and I want to reintroduce the negative side and repair that, if you know, if it can be. And again, you know, not perfect. He never was a journalist or, you know, this is just simply somebody coming on talking about the issues that were at hand to help people understand what was going on. Because politics can be very, very difficult to understand. It's a lot. And there's a lot of people who's not interested in it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking for a new route, you know, into this show. I'm going to actually talk about Wednesday. I would love to possibly look at having a co-host. I don't like doing the show necessarily by myself. I like to feed off of somebody. So that may be something I'm going to be looking into, of seeing, you know, possibly a co-host. They don't have to come here. They don't have to be here. It can be virtual. So that may be something that's going to come about. But just want everybody to know, you know, I appreciate whether you love or hate it. I appreciate it because we're in this together. We're in the same town, and you know, mistakes are made on every side, each side, you know, but when you can come back to it and, you know, say, look, I'm sorry about this, but this did happen. And, you know, you kind of mesh that. That's what we're looking forward to, getting ready to bring back some positivity and have a good time, and, you know, make this town a little bit better.
Well, that's great, Kyle, and I know that this is really going to work out a lot better for you as far as stress goes and stuff. It'd be a lot different. And remember, folks,
this is going to happen on Wednesday at 7 p.m. So I'm Jerry McKee, and we're so glad that you got to come and you know, have a part of this with Kyle and I. And we'll be looking forward to you. This coming Monday, you got T. Graham Brown will be on here at 7 o'clock. And you'll listen to his story. He still sings it up in Nashville at the Grand Ole Opry. So I'm Jerry McKee, and thank you for watching.